Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Just want to let y'all know we're going into week 13. Think about this again, week 13 of the NFL season.
Yes, sir.
And we're back with you for another live episode of the NFL Matchup Madness. And as we get deeper into the season, things seem to be getting a little more interesting. And that's kind of exciting for me. Can't speak for anybody else. Might have something to do with the fact that I have one of the better teams in the league this year. Who knows? But it's just exciting, seriously, to get to that point in the year where you start to kind of get an idea. Playoffs are coming. We're starting to figure out guys who have a chance in the divisions. You already have a couple of teams that are fighting for the first overall pick. It's all great, though. Because if you're fighting for the first couple of picks, you're hoping you're going to get a guy that's going to change your team. If you're in the middle, you're kind of stuck hoping maybe you somehow outperform what you're doing. You could be a team like the Browns who are going to have a guy that they hope's going to help turn their season around show up. Or you could just be one of the better teams hoping that you're able to do the only thing that really matters, and that's win a championship. Because let's be honest, guys, if you don't win a championship, you're second best or worse. Nobody cares about second place.
So it's time for the draft, though. You got that first pick. Texans.
Well, we never know exactly who it's going to be. We never know. But we know what's going to happen. And that's what's important. So we got, we're just going to go ahead and set things off here. And we have our guy, Stats and Tats himself, Mr. Derrick Jones, always covering the Bills. How's it going today, man?
Good, man. How about you?
I can't complain, man. We're in the middle of another great NFL season. I'm excited. So, Derrick, as you can see, you are going to be doing a solo matchup tonight, which it's not the first time you've ever done it, right?
No.
Not at all.
It's went from being a guy that nobody wanted to show up against to now still nobody wants to show up against, and I'm not sure why. Because early season it was definitely looking like we were the buzzsaw, and now it's a little bit different. But
hey, man, you're still looking good. You're still not out of things. You still have the really straight in the playoffs. Once you're in that playoffs, man, it doesn't really matter what happened in the regular season unless you're the number one to me, because the number one gets that bye. If you don't get the bye, you're all even playing field to me. So, Derrick, man, talk to us. We'll keep it simple this week. What do you think the Bills need to do in order to go ahead and solidify a win this week? And what do you think the Patriots can do to themselves get a win? And I know if we're looking on paper, it's looking strong towards the Bills, but just, if there's anything you think they can do.
This is one of the easy ones for me where, I haven't seen anything in the past couple of years that Bill Belichick has figured out a way to slow down Josh Allen, barring gale force winds. But really, the answer there is they got to make Josh uncomfortable. Josh is whether it's the elbow, which I don't believe the elbow is as bad as people are playing it up to be. I know I got that force fed to me for an entire Thanksgiving game about how bad Josh's elbow is. Listen, man, I mean, I coach a sport where you throw and UCL injuries are common. I know the delivery is a little bit different and it doesn't affect as much, but it still affects. My man's not out there dropping dimes. He looks like a different quarterback in the last 2 minutes of the half and the last 2 minutes of the game than he does the rest of the game. That's not an elbow thing to me. Your elbow doesn't miraculously stop bothering you based on how much time is on the clock. That to me, it's a mental thing. I think it's in his head about the whole, don't turn the ball over, play safe. And you know what? As much as I hate the untimely and the bad turnovers, I don't like conservative Josh either. Last week we ran a big time one read offense for a lot of that game, and it didn't look great. It looked like Josh and the Bills from 4 years ago. If Belichick and the Patriots can make us do that, I think they have a shot, because they'll keep the game close, and anyone's got to, when you keep the game close, all you got to do is one bad bounce, one bad turnover, and it goes the other way. I think this has got to be the start of letting Josh eat. It's got to be letting Josh do his thing, letting Josh roll through and do what he does, and outside of that, I think I really think the Patriots, if the Bills play their game, the Patriots are going to have a long prime time.
Yeah, I feel you there, man. Cool. I think you're still on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
I'll just say, I think this is gonna be a good game, man. All of a sudden, you see, I mean, the Patriots kind of have something to play for too over there, and they have a pretty decent defense, man. Um, so I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. What do you think? What do you think the Patriots can do to pull off a win?
Like I said, I think they got to make Josh uncomfortable, and they got to make him uncomfortable early. Putting pressure on him is really what it comes down to. Looking at guys getting in his face, getting in the backfield, and making him make quick decisions that he doesn't necessarily want to make. If they can do that, they're going to stand a chance because they're going to get Josh into his head, and when Josh is in his head, he doesn't play well. That's he either starts forcing things or he starts playing really, really conservative. The one thing that we did see a little bit last week that they do have to watch out for, and if they can contain this, which good luck because no one's figured it out yet, containing Josh outside the pocket. Once he tucks it and decides to run, limiting what he does and how much he can beat you with that is going to be tough. But if you put a guy on him, that's going to get that's one less dude that can keep an eye on anybody we have. And we showed last week, Isaiah McKenzie had a pretty solid day. First time all year, but
Yeah.
he's also a dude that shredded them last year. So you got to watch out for him. Stephon Diggs still a top 5 guy in the league right now. Gabe Davis can splash beat you any day of the week, and not for nothing. There's rumored John Brown might be getting called up in the practice squad already, depending upon the depth. And looking at our injury report here, and went from a lot of did not practice with illness yesterday to a lot of full practices today. So that's a good one. For me, looking through our injury report, and it looks like we're going to be without Dawkins, probably Von Miller, which we expected, Quentin Morris, and then it looks like Stephon Diggs got vet rest today, so that's why he didn't participate. But other than that, I mean, Shakir's back, Rousseau's back, Phillips is back, Morris is back, Lewis is back, Johnson's back, Jackson's back, Hamlin's back, Epinesa is back, Edmonds is back. I mean, that's a lot of starters right there. This is that upswing that you hope for, and you hope that this is the game that kind of lights the fire again and turns it into a rage-burning inferno here in West New York.
I dig that, man. I dig it. So yeah, man. Definitely appreciate you hopping on. Definitely good luck in your game. I feel like you guys have a real strong opportunity to win. Hopefully, you guys will give us a better Thursday game than most of the ones that we've had so far.
So far, we're one of the only good Thursday night games this year so far. Hopefully, we go 2 for 2.
I can hear that. Definitely feel that. And good luck on everything. Hopefully, see you back next week. And definitely hop in the chat and let everybody know where they can find you, man.
Appreciate it, boys. Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, guys, we are a little technical issue here, but we're going to straighten it out in 1 second. We'll be hopping to our next individual here, and that's going to be Mr. Chris Fisher. 1 second, we'll have him on.
Oh, it should be a good game too. They're all good games.
Yeah, we are. Chris, what's going on, man?
Man, it's another day in paradise. What's going on with you guys, fellas?
Same, man.
Just enjoying things, man. Just enjoying things. Yeah, just moving a little, just moving along here, man. So we're now hopping on discussing, your game with the Steelers. Our Steelers guy wasn't able to make it tonight. Things happen, but it's not your first time going solo, so I think you'll be fine as well.
Man, I was looking forward to going up against PT, man. Me and him go way back, so I was looking forward to this matchup.
He's pretty fun, man. I liked when he went up against the Eagles rep, man. He talks a little smack, but he gives you some good info. But I just keep it simple. You can start whichever team you want. What do you think each team needs to do to win the game? And what do you think would be your key matchup within the game as well?
I think for the Falcons, it's simple. It's just like what they've been doing this season. continue to ride that run game that they have, that triple options they have going on. That's their bread and butter. They need, at this point in the season, they should be a well-oiled machine. There was some hiccups last week against Washington, but this team is designed, if they can get ahead early, they can grind out the clock and control the game. If they get behind, then it's hard for them to try to come back, and that's what they need to do against Pittsburgh. They need to get out early, keep the offense on the field, keep Pittsburgh off. For Pittsburgh, they need to start quickly. They need to put points on the board. They have the ability to be able to air it out if they need to, but we don't know what's going on with their whole quarterback situation. So it's up in the air if that's actually going to work out for them. But they have the weapons to be able to do so.
What? I feel like Pickett kind of went off last week.
But is he? It's one of those things. He's not. Is he gonna be the same player week to week to week?
We'll see. He was the only quarterback taken in the first round.
True. But I think Mike Tomlin is a strong enough coach to be able to put a game plan together, to be able to put Pickett in favorable matchups, to be able to take advantage of his strengths. It's going to be up to Atlanta's defense, which
I think we lost him.
Yeah, they might have froze for a second.
We'll see. I'm looking at this post here about Kenny Pickett, man. Say he had the best. Was it the best game of a Steelers quarterback? Let's see. Best by a Steelers quarterback since Week 10, 2018. Best by a rookie quarterback in 2022. I guess it's not really big statistics. There's not really a whole lot of rookie quarterbacks.
Yes, it's not. These are not impressive things we're talking about here. Chris may have had to jump out and try to hop back in. I mean, nothing against Pickett. It's just, nobody in this class at quarterback, this rookie class, really wows me.
That's true. I mean, who else is there? The kid from Tennessee. He did not look good.
You're looking at Malik Willis. I mean, he's not even right. He's just kind of back and forth with Ryan Tannehill. He's in a battle with Ryan Tannehill for playing time. So that says, I think, a lot of things of what we need to know there.
Yeah.
Oh, now touring the AFC, we were talking about the Titans, the Tennessee Titans. Fortunately, Hooker had that injury, man, so he's not going to be really part of things moving forward, at least not for Tennessee the rest of this year, early next year. Well, so he'll say, Malik was just fine. It wasn't planned not to be the starter this year. I mean, we get that. But it's the times when you see a guy out, right? We only know what we see out in the games. I mean, he may be in practice killing it, and it may just be the game time situation, being a rookie. It's just getting to him. But we only know what we see. And we haven't seen a lot that's impressive yet from Malik Willis, but that doesn't mean anything because, like you said, it's not his team yet. So it's not a concern at all. It's just
next year.
Yeah, we're just talking about what we see, man. Just talking about what we see.
Not all of us focused on this year, cool. Some of us looking forward to the future.
Come on, man. Why we got to do that? All right, Chris, we got you back.
Yeah, my phone overheated. My problem.
It's all good, man. Go ahead and pick up where you were at.
Yeah, I was just saying that Mike Tomlin is a strong enough head coach to be able to put Kenny Pickett in favorable matchups that should be beneficial to the Steelers' offense. It's going to be up to Atlanta's defense, which has been suspect as of late. They've been giving up a lot of big plays, and it's going to come down to who's going to minimize the big plays.
Definitely makes sense. So is there a specific matchup that you're looking at that may help determine the game?
I think it's going to be Pittsburgh's ability to be able to take advantage of Atlanta's weak secondary. Terrell hasn't looked like the all-pro corner that he's been. Casey Hayward also hasn't looked like the all-pro corner he's been. So it's gonna be come down to which one. It's gonna be the receivers of Pittsburgh or Atlanta's secondary. Who's gonna win that matchup? And that's gonna be the matchup to focus on, because if Pittsburgh can take advantage of it, they're gonna be able to put points up at a pace that Atlanta can't keep up with.
Definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Said anything? You got anything for him?
Oh man, nothing I can think of.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Well, Chris, man, we appreciate having you on as usual.
Yes, sir.
Good luck in the game this week, man. We'll see you back next week. Don't forget to hop in the comments and let everybody know where they can find you.
All right, fellas, appreciate y'all. See you next week.
Yes, sir. Be easy.
All right. We got bring on the next guy here. Looks like we got another solo couch coach,
Couch
the
coach.
Commanders guy. How's it going, man? We can't hear you, couch coach. You might have yourself
I'm
on mute,
coming.
bro.
Yeah, I got you. All right, we good. You can hear me now?
We can hear you.
I'm feeling great, cool.
Should
I'm
be.
almost to a point. Should I be going to Minneapolis for the wild card game in January? Should I make plans to go to Minnesota in January?
It may not be Minnesota,
Oh,
but you're probably going somewhere.
could be in Philadelphia. You
It
know,
could be.
we shall see.
It
Or
could be.
San
Stranger
Francisco.
things have happened.
You're right. You're right.
So, couch coach, man, uh, gonna this big matchup, another NFC East battle for you, or as I like to say, NFC Beast battle for you. Against the Giants, man. I know you're very familiar with the Giants, as am I. So talk to us about what you guys can do to continue what you've been doing, and win. And then the irony is, then it's a bye for you, right? And then you come back and play the Giants again, if I remember your schedule correct.
Yeah.
For the
Yep.
next two
Yep.
times that we talk to you, you're gonna be talking Giants. So that's gonna be interesting. So this is the first game against them, man. What can y'all do, and what can they do to get this dub?
I definitely think the Commanders now have an identity. I think we can clearly, you know, week 13, we know for sure this team has a formula of winning. Obviously, Taylor Heineke pretty much managing the football, running the football, playing good defense. Taylor making the throws when need be. So I think he's now in his role as far as being a game manager. And I think essentially that's going to be a key for this Commanders team to win, especially in New Jersey, where it's somewhat of a house of horse for us in the States, where you look at just the fact that personnel off Daniel Jones, he's had pretty much a pretty good track record against us in his 5 starts. I think he's had like 10 touchdowns and 1 interception and 100 quarterback rating. And then St. was another one. Saquon Barkley, he's another one that's had a great been feasting on us as well. In his 5 stars with us as well, I think he's averaged over 141 yards per game against us in those 5 matchups. Those are kind of the two keys for us to win this football game. And obviously, I think we do a great job of stopping the run. I know a lot of people looked at that Falcons game as well. Cordell Patterson, he did his thing. I forgot the other Algier, the quarterback the running back for the Falcons. But we still, between those two, I think we only gave up maybe 110 yards between two of those guys. So I think the biggest key for us is just containing Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is elusive. As we know, cool. He's elusive. So we got to contain him, keep him within that pocket, almost kind of like what we did to Marcus Mariota. Even though we're dealing with somewhat of a poor man's version of a Daniel Jones and Marcus Mariota last week, but Daniel Jones still has the ability to make plays and go outside the pocket. So definitely contain him. Also, Saquon Barkley, give him opportunities to run the football because obviously their success is pretty much predicated on Barkley. He's been playing, almost if this wasn't a quarterback MVP type of situation, he would be running in there. So, I look at this matchup, Washington continue doing what they've done, the success that they've had. Taylor Heineke just managed the game. Also, too, um, our defense. Our defense is our calling card. Guys just stepping up week in and week out. Now you're looking at Kendall Fuller now as the guy who now has a knack for playing, making plays. So I think his playmaking ability as well is going to definitely be there. I definitely think this is a great opportunity for to watch the Commanders team strike your wise heart. I think the bye week came at a perfect time, and it's funny. I look at this bye week as like you want to have a bye week like this where you have the two games. You have your opponents one week and then a bye week and then the next week. So you have 2 times in 3 weeks, which would be great you know for down the stretch. So if we lose Sunday, we can make the adjustments and then come back on the 17th or the 18th, maybe the 17th or Saturday game for us potentially. But I digress about that point. Yeah, possibly. But I definitely think Washington's going to take advantage of this opportunity, and I think they're going to win this football game and move to 8-5 and third place in the NFC East, and we shall see. But I definitely think this Washington Commanders team definitely has what it takes to win this game and win another road NFC East game.
That would be actual factuals.
Sure.
I like that ending.
All right, Sid, you got got anything?
That's a mic drop.
Somebody drop. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I like the shots. I like the shots, Sid. I'll take that.
Hey, I gotta get him where I can, man. We're losing to Carolina over here.
I just remind you, man. There's only one team that's got double-digit wins right now.
But now, we might get there for Christmas now.
Who beat 'em?
We almost there, cool.
We almost got double-digit
We
losses.
almost there, cool.
Hey, y'all climbing at the right time, man. All you want to do is be playing good football to the end of the year. So I'm just hoping we
Yes,
play good
indeed.
football by week 13. Right now, it is what it is.
Yep.
I'm cooler than the other
Yep.
side of the pillow.
Same here.
Yes,
So
sir.
what happens if the Eagles end up or the Commanders end up sweeping the Eagles?
They can't sweep the Eagles, sir.
Did
We
they
already
already?
thrashed. Yeah, we thrashed
Oh,
them the
did you?
first time. Yeah.
See, I don't even know my schedule, man. I was just,
And
Yes,
but
sir.
and also, oh, my bad. Also, it's a good thing for Washington as well. This would be the final NFC East road game that we would have because we would have, obviously we'll have the Giants back at home, and then we'll have the Cowboys in Week 18. Yeah, and if we can get past this one, I like our chances. I think might be joining you in the double digits by probably maybe Christmas Eve or maybe New Year's Day. But we'll be right behind you, cool, in the double digit win potentially.
I hear
Yeah.
you.
bold statement.
I hear you.
Hey,
I'm not mad at it, man. If you don't say it, who's gonna say it, right? Like who else is gonna
for
who else is
sure,
gonna champion the Commanders besides the Commanders guy?
for sure. Facts.
You know what I mean? All right. So, any other thoughts on the matchup here, Couch Coach?
I think that's it. But big game, and go next week to the bye and finish out the final 4 games, and you know
Makes a whole lot of sense, sir. Makes a whole lot of sense. Would definitely appreciate you hopping in, checking us out. Um, Make sure you hop in the comments so that everybody know where to find you. And good luck on your game this week, sir.
appreciate you. All right.
All right, guys. So we're gonna transition over to our next matchup, and
Oh
we've actually
man.
got a matchup for you guys, a rare treat this week. So here we have the
Wait,
Baltimore
hold on.
Ravens.
You mean to say? I was going to say, you mean to say that I had to wait 12 weeks to finally have somebody else to talk to?
Yes,
Good
sir.
Lord, it is too dang long.
Hey, well,
Two Broncos.
better only 13 weeks than 15 weeks, right?
Eh, Right, you're right.
Shit, we waiting 13 weeks for the Broncos to show up.
Yeah,
I've been
that's
waiting for the
not
chance.
wrong either.
All right, so gentlemen, how's it going? Y'all ready for this matchup?
No.
I'm always.
Hey, if Gus Edwards out there, then we might have a chance. I'm just joking.
Edwards show is coming down, yo. That's right.
He might go
I
off,
see you.
actually. He might go off this week.
You never know, man. You never know. There's always a chance for somebody to have a good week. Like all jokes aside, because it depends on the scheme, what you're taking, and what you're giving. But
And
guys, so
we playing
talk
the
to us about
Broncos.
yeah. So guys, talk to us. We'll start with you, Ian, as you have the team that's how I'll say this, the team that's slated to lose by Vegas odds.
Oh,
We'll put it that way.
so we the underdogs. We the
Yes.
unders.
I was
That's
trying
what
to
you
find out,
saying.
but I didn't want to say under, right? Because it just sounds like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I said the team that's slated to lose by Vegas odds. I wanted to go with something a little different than just the nominal underdog. What can you guys do to win this game, man?
I mean,
Oh,
pray to
exactly
God
how
that
it's
he
gonna go.
gets a lot of draft picks back
That's how it's gonna go.
because
So Mr. Jenkins, I guess we'll just
yeah,
slide on over to
because
you here,
let's.
sir, while we're figuring out what's happening with we almost had him back. There we go.
This is how we
I'm
felt before they
here.
cut Melvin
Okay.
Gordon.
Yeah, cut out there for a bit. So what can you do to win this game, Ian?
Well, we pray for $50 million worth of cap space and actually get. We actually do what Philly did. No, I'm kidding, but all the everything that we haven't done is what we need to do. And I know that that sounds super cliche right now, but it's literally to the point of no matter what we have done, nothing has worked. Our offense is stagnant at 16 points a game. So,
If
I
that.
mean, if we get lucky and our defense decides to get the heads out of their butts for a week, then, we might actually stand a legitimate shot, if we could get to Lamar Jackson. But our kryptonite's always been running quarterbacks. And I've always been terrified of this game ever since the schedule came out because running quarterbacks, for some reason, have defied Denver's defense forever. And he's obviously the ultimate running quarterback now. But, I mean, honestly, if we can force Lamar Jackson to stay in the pocket, make him throw it, and if we can actually get to the running backs, we might have a shot to shock some people. Maybe it's special teams, but right now, I'll be honest, there ain't much faith left in this squad. Yeah, you ain't wrong about that either. Because trust me, I'm going to be drunk on Sunday watching this game too.
Well, hey, it is what it
And
is.
that's me being polite.
Mr. Jenkins, what do you got? We cannot hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
I was saying, is Justin Simmons playing?
Justin Simmons? Man.
Yeah.
I think he is actually.
Okay. So the Ravens really just stop being crazy and just play their offense. And the biggest thing that's been an issue with us all season long is closing out drives, scoring touchdowns. I don't want to get into a defensive battle with this team because what usually happens to us is we lose the battle of war of attrition, and then you see the end of the game. We need to get our playmakers involved. We need to run the. We're a running team. Our line is set up to pound the rock. We don't need to and try to make these passes. We need to just play our game, not kill ourselves with penalties like we usually do at the end of drive, false start, or holding. Just take it to them. Teams, reeling. They just lost to Carolina, a really bad team with Sam Darnold. So this team is a team that's primed for the taking. They're coming to Baltimore. They still They still remember last year, but the only difference is we have Marquise Brown. So we really need to just knock them out right now. And we have the team to do it. You don't get up to have these leads to lose if you have a team. So we just need to play our game, get Gus Edwards and Kenyon Drake involved. Like, I'd like to see them both get 10 to 15 touchdowns. Lamar, I would love to see him do running, but I really need him just at the end of the day, the delay of games, the false starts, that does fall on the quarterback in terms of execution. We need to execute better, and especially when it comes to the red zone. And a lot of times it's just making no sense how your number one rule as a quarterback when you come to the script is to check the game clock. So if you do that and you calm down and you focus, we can really take it to this team. I still believe the team is a good team. I don't think my team against about anyone. And I think this is a perfect matchup for us to really come back out with a decisive victory if we get our heads out our behind and play the way we're supposed to be playing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, guys, either one of you guys have any final thoughts on your matchup this week?
I thought about one more thing that might actually give us an advantage. If
Okay.
Baltimore goes up by 10, we have the chance at a fourth quarter comeback.
Nah, if they go up by 10, we ain't coming back.
Here's the thing. All four of their losses, they've led by 10 in the fourth quarter or more, and they've been known to blow it, even if they should be winning that game.
Yeah, but that's
I
not
don't know
against
if
the
that's
Broncos.
Hey,
But
I'm
We
trying
haven't
to be
scored.
somewhat optimistic, okay? I'm trying to get out of this 31st out of 32 power ranking spot, okay?
We got to score
So
more
we
than 16 points.
Well, guys,
Yeah, I mean,
we
go
all I
ahead.
can really say to
Go
that,
ahead. I'm
guys,
good.
all I can really say to that, guys, is, good luck to both of you guys on the game. Make
I
sure you
didn't
hop in the chat and let
I
everybody know
didn't
where to find you. What you got, Joseph?
I didn't get the final thoughts. Yeah. First of
Go
all,
Broncos.
you're saying up by 10. We've been up by 10 every single game and won 7 out of 11. So it can't necessarily be the winning formula because we're shown to still be able to win games. At the day, I think this is a game that Baltimore really should win. This team in Baltimore and Denver, if people don't realize this, they have a rivalry. They've played over the years and had some really big losses, big wins, bad matchups, good matchups. These teams know each other. These teams got history. Both of our Super Bowl runs came from beating Denver at Denver. So we just need to play our game. This is the perfect game for us to try to get back on track. I'd like to see us not have me stressing out because I think if we can get up by 10 and we actually keep our heads out our behinds at the beginning of the third quarter, then there's no room for a comeback for Denver team because they'll be honest. Russell Wilson, I love him, but I think this is a year that he's going to have to remember and reflect on so he can come back next year. I don't think they have what it took to come back from 10 down against us, even as bad as we've been in blowing leads.
Oh, trust
Fair
me,
enough.
we agree with you. We agree.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, guys,
We
again,
need Toe.
um, good luck on your matchup to both of your teams. We never know. We know what we think is going to happen, but we got to see the gameplay, and then we'll know what really
And remember,
happened.
the
And
Gus Bud,
oh god, and make sure you hop in the chat. Let everybody know where they can find you, and hope Gus Edwards gives you 3,000 yards this game, buddy.
exactly.
All right, so we're gonna head on to our next matchup, and we have Mr. Malcolm Bean, who is representing the Bears. His counterpart does not seem. Oh, he is here. Didn't see him at first, but he's here. So let's get Mr. Larkins also added here, so we can have us a good old-fashioned shindig here. Yes, I did say shindig.
Hey.
Hey. All right, let's see what we got here. 1 second, guys. Getting a little delay today, but we work through everything because that's what we do.
It's that madness.
It is, man. It's part of being mad. There we go. There we are. All right. So we got the matchup going now. So Trey, Malcolm, how's it going today, fellas?
Good. How you doing today?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. Nobody wants to hear it if you do anyway, right?
I know, right? I know. Hey, cool. My Packers gave y'all a battle on Sunday night, man. We fought hard, man.
Yeah, everybody fights hard against us. We're just
Yeah.
lucky to pull them out. You know, not gonna pretend we ain't going out there and crushing nobody, but hey, we just get the dubs. That's all. That's all we worried about right now. Just keep dubbing it up. Just keep dubbing it up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like the way Jalen Hurts in that running game looked.
It's not like that every week, but I'm happy it was like that this week. So Trey, out for that very impressive showing against the Eagles and what to the last couple of weeks has been a pretty solid defense. How do you feel about this matchup coming up here against the Bears, man? What do you guys need to do to pick up a dub?
Well, honestly, fellas, we all know that Aaron Rodgers, he owns stock in the Chicago Bears and Dallas Cowboys. We've been having a rough season this year,
Does feel like
and
that.
we are not living up to expectations. But we witnessed a few weeks ago, Aaron Rodgers turned back the clock and beat the Dallas Cowboys at Lambeau. So no matter how bad the Packers are struggling, no matter how bad Aaron Rodgers is struggling, we always find a way to beat the Chicago Bears, whether it's at Soldier Field or whether it's at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers always seem to come out on top. I don't expect anything different this upcoming Sunday, but in the overall grand scheme of things, as a Packers fan, I know we're not going to the playoffs. We're not a Super Bowl contender this year, but I do believe we're going to beat the Bears because Aaron Rodgers always beats the Bears.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Malcolm,
Congratulations
glad
on
to have you
yeah, thanks for letting me be on here. Cool. Trey, just to let you know, congratulations on this Sunday, because I don't even know what the hell my team is at this point. I mean, all our defense is banged to hell and back. Justin Fields, we don't know if he's gonna play. Trevor Siemian injures himself during warm-ups. I don't know how the hell you injure yourself in warm-ups. Nathan Peterman is the freaking quarterback. Yeah, 125 million, Ryan. How can you fix this? And I swear to God, I better hear with the second overall pick in the NFL draft, they better go edge. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now, because I've already came to the conclusion that I just want to see what 125 million can do. If the Bears somehow, some way, by the grace of the football guys, but the football guys been pimp slapping me around like a normal street cornering cat, it would be nice for the Bears to beat Green Bay, but it ain't gonna happen until Aaron Rodgers retired, or if Jordan Love somehow sucks. But I don't see that happening either. Yeah, I don't see, even if Justin Fields do play, I still don't see Chicago being it. The only way how to win, run the ball. That's all I can say. Run the ball. Only way we can win is shoot. To be honest though, to be honest with you all, the Bears have to learn how to win. Because let's be honest, these last couple of games have been close, except for the Jets game, of course. They've all been close to either like a point or 4 point or like 7. I mean, I can't say that this team doesn't compete. I can't say that because they compete, but it's like they got to learn how to win. And that's the first step. They have to learn how to win. They got to learn.
Malcolm, as much as I despise your Chicago Bears, let me give you a little silver lining. My man Cool's Eagles, they just rushed for over 350 yards Sunday night. So our run defense is pathetic. I mean, let's just call it what it is. The Packers' run defense is pathetic. You give up 350 yards. We could have went out there and ran against that Packers defense on Sunday night. That's how bad that defense was. And yo Bears, Malcolm, got Justin Fields. We know Justin Fields is a playmaker with the football in his hands. He's a mobile quarterback. I give you a little bit of silver lining with that. Also, I'm not sure if David Montgomery's going to play. Is he going to play?
He's playing.
Okay. I like David Montgomery. He's a Cincinnati native. I don't know if you guys know. I'm here in Cincinnati, Ohio. But David Montgomery is from the city. So, yeah, if y'all can run the football, y'all can definitely keep the game close because the Packers' run defense is pathetic. I don't understand how the hell Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator, still got a job. I don't understand. I don't know if he got some type of tape or a recording on the Packers organization. I don't understand how he still has a job. But
in the words of Tom Grassi, it's all bad with Green Bay. Matt LaFleur, bad. Play calling, bad. Aaron Rodgers, bad. But hey, you did make me laugh on beating the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because we all hate the Cowboys. Can we all agree we all hate the Cowboys? Well, I don't hate the Cowboys as much as I hate. Believe it or not, when it comes to hate, Green Bay is number one, obviously. Number two, the Colts. I live in Indianapolis, for God's sakes. And I'm actually happy that they lost, but at the same time, I'm mad because they're tanking. And plus, they have an owner who is a drunken buffoon, but that's neither here nor say. And third is Dallas, because, they won't shut up. But if Justin Fields does play, I mean, like I said, it's amazing that the Bears are number one in rushing.
Yeah.
Number one in rushing.
You always have to use the silver lining, and just want to correct Trey. It was actually 367 yards, but there was a couple of sacks that put down the total yards.
Yeah, it was bad. It was.
Ooh. Like I said, if we beat Green Bay, that'd be the greatest Christmas present.
Now, Malcolm, you remember,
but it's not gonna happen.
You remember what Aaron Rodgers told Bears fans last year? Do you remember?
Yeah, and I'm still shocked that he hasn't been shot.
Yo, touring the AFC South is wild, bro. I just want to say that.
To be honest, though, and I'm going to correct this when it comes to Aaron Rodgers owning the Bears. You don't own the Bears, buddy. The McCaskey's cheapness owns it. But we do know a team that owns you, 49ers. I still don't know how you can get past the 49ers.
It's cold-blooded. But, man, I will let y'all can trash talk in the chat all y'all want. I'm going to go ahead and hop over to the next matchup. Good luck on y'all's game on Sunday. Make sure y'all hop in the chat, fellas, and let everybody know where they can find you. Appreciate having y'all on. Look forward to seeing y'all next week.
Thanks, cool. Thanks for bringing me on, bro.
No doubt.
You know what the best part about next week is, cool? We don't have a game next week. We on the bye next week. That's the greatest victory ever.
So are the Packers.
God, why is the bye so late?
All right.
All right, Kyle. What's going on, man?
Hey, honor, joy, and privilege. Let me be among the last to wish you both happy Thanksgiving. Sorry I missed last week. I was trying to drive to New Orleans with the family, and it would figure I'm trying to drive back when Trevor Lawrence actually decides to handle business late in the fourth quarter. Sure, you pick that a week when I'm not in the press box. Thanks, Trevor. No, but listen, that's the first sign of what that offense needs to look like late in close games. And listen, for all the tool bags out there that want to blame L-Jack for that loss, don't. That defense let you down. And give Trevor Lawrence credit. They were picking on Peters late in that game, but I liked what I saw poise-wise. And I know there are some Jaguars fans, like some fans on other teams of this show, who are lamenting their own teams so much, apparently, who are like, it wasn't great. All the receivers made great catches. Guys, you either overpaid the receivers who are talentless or your quarterback can't handle the pressure. It's one or the other. You cannot have both. I only ask you to pick one so I know what to write about. Anyways, good to see you, fellas.
Good to see you as well, man. So, you know how it rolls, man. You've been along a couple of times. So, talk to us about what these teams can do to win this game, Kyle.
Man, listen, here's the biggest thing I have worried, or I have as a worry for the Jaguars in this one. It's not that I think that Trevor Lawrence is cocky or that he's a bad personality or he's a showboat or any of that. But the ultimate task for Doug Peterson this week is to make sure Trevor Lawrence ain't feeling himself just a bit too much. Because if you're not careful, the Jaguars could find themselves in a very interesting situation when they head up to Detroit in the coming Sunday, right? Oh, by the way, I love Man Campbell. It's Man, not Dan, for those that don't know. Man Campbell and what he's done with that group, biting a few people's kneecaps off surprisingly, and having a very solid outing against the Bills, for those who remember. But how do you go from having the best offense in the league to then the worst? That's very weird to me. Anyway, with that in mind, it's the Lions defense that's going to give the Jags a real shot in this game. And the Jags, if Trevor Lawrence continues to play well, have a good balance between him and former teammate Travis Etienne running the ball in the backfield. James Robinson, who's that? Exactly. That's the reason why I predicted he would get traded. Anyway, with all that in mind, I think the key here is the Jaguars' defense attacking that backfield. I scoff at Goff as a quarterback, especially when he's under a lot of pressure, and the Jags may not be the best pressure team in the league, but they're good enough to disrupt that group in Detroit.
Fair enough.
All right.
Said, any other questions for Kyle?
Oh man, do you think the Jags are going to be working in Henderson?
I do, and no, that's a good question. I think he's going to be more. You won't see it so much this week. And listen, he's a guy I actually saw play in college a couple times because he came to play UCF, who I cover games for as well with the black and gold banneret. But with him and his abilities, I wonder if he's kind of a change up for power situations and also to provide extra protection of Trevor Lawrence. Not to mention the rare occasions they throw a designed run in. Darrell Henderson could be a solid fullback if you aren't expecting him to be a fullback. They're going to hand the ball to Henderson. Wait, why is he coming at me? Oh, God, So I think Henderson's a quality pickup. These days that running back cores are the thing, not bell cows. No offense to any Titans fans or anything like that, but bell cows are a thing of the past. Just ask the Colts, because if your bell cow gets hurt, you have a bad season. That's not fair. The Colts have had way more injuries than that, but you get the point. I definitely love the bolstering of the committee. That's only an addition from where I sit.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it. So, Kyle, any other thoughts on your big matchup this weekend?
Listen, the Jags have put themselves in a position to get something called a winning streak. I had to look this up. It's something where you win more than one game in a row, and the Jags have started to look really good and moving that direction. It's a funny thing. I'm not going to be bold enough to say that they're going to battle the Titans for the division or anything that crazy yet. But the Titans' schedule is a little bit more difficult lately. That's kind of helped in that regard. That being said, if the Jags continue to handle business and they face the Titans twice late in the season, one of them I think is the second week of December. Don't quote me on that. But the Jags, if they get on a heavy win streak, a la when the Texans won 8 in a row, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, which seems like eons for Texans fans. But with all that in mind, I think the Jags have that Cinderella chance to still make the playoffs. But then again, I'm still one that realistically thinks they're still going to get to that 5 or 6 game range that I predicted. I just never thought one of them would have been the Ravens.
Fair enough. All right, so Kyle, you know the drill, man. I appreciate you for hopping on this week. Definitely make sure you hop in the chat. Let everybody know where to find you. And we look forward to having you back on next week, man.
Looking forward to it. See you, fellas.
All right, man. So we're going to go ahead and move over to our next matchup here. So we got us an actual matchup again, fellas.
Hey.
We got our first time contributor, but definitely not new to talk football, Coach Dante.
Ooh, big week.
We got the man Clarence Nixon here. So what's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. Glad to have you on.
I'm doing good. How y'all going?
Nothing to complain about, man. It's not like anybody wants to hear it anyway, right? That's what I always say. But guys, talk to us about this matchup this week. Coach Dante, since you are new here, we'll let you go first, man. What do you think the Texans need to do to get this win this week?
Well, they need to start back running the football with Damian Pierce this weekend. Last couple of weeks has been a tough couple of weeks for him. He has not been able to run the football. Our offensive line wasn't the greatest. Was not It's not the greatest. Most of the runs that he creates be just him. And like I said, we got to get the run game started. We just had a quarterback situation this last weekend, we just benched Davis Mills, who's been struggling, took a huge nosedive, especially from last year, and he definitely regressed. And we just got to get the running game back going, and we got to just win the battle in the trenches. We're not a good run stopping defense, so that's going to be a little bit of a problem. But we can cover. Our secondary is really really good, and we get eaten up in zone coverage a lot because of the linebackers are not as good. Christian Harris is good, but Christian Kirksey and everybody else not so good. So we need to get back to running the football with Damian Pierce. If we can do that, I believe we can keep the game close against the Cleveland Browns this week. But I'm excited, and I'm excited to see my guy again, Deshaun Watson. Man, he might not be on the Texans, but I'm excited to see him back in the league again and trying to get to that top five quarterbacks because I always respect him, and I say I've been defending him all season long like that. I'm just happy to see him playing on the football field, and no matter if it's against my team, the guy did a lot for the organization, and he kept us in a lot of ball games throughout the year. So I just can't wait to see him back on the field on Sunday against us.
Fair enough. So, sports guy, talk to us, man. Got a little big news, I think, breaking out of Cleveland. Coach Dante kind of went over that a little bit, but talk to us about what's happening in the Cleveland, man.
Oh, I'm Cincinnati, man. I'm Cincinnati though, but I can tell you like what I've been looking for. I can tell you. I think they're very excited that they're getting Deshaun Watson back. Like so, their offense is gonna be back in the groove how they was building. And two, I think they'll keep running the ball with Nick Chubb though. That's their bread and butter is running the football. So if they can keep running the football and keeping Kareem Hunt out in the pass game, I think they're gonna be excited though. And then they got Amari Cooper on the end though, so it's gonna be more excited. Now they get Deshaun Watson, and then first game back is in Houston. Like, dang, after all that craziness stuff, like it's in Houston. So me as a Bengals fan looking at that, like man, like how can you deal with all that? Like you getting questions like is he gonna be rusty or is he still gonna play up to that level like he was before the suspension? So it's gonna be a lot of expectations up in the air for Deshaun Watson when he returns back to his former team, the Houston Texans, this weekend.
Yeah.
Sports guy, admit, man, I slid you in for Cleveland because I wanted to get you in this week, right? Because
Yeah.
Cincinnati off, but I wanted to get you in, so I slid you in for Cleveland. So yeah, I did try to slide one in on you.
Yeah, Cleveland, they've been for 3 years, man. So the most I can do is, talk good things about them and what they
Yeah.
expect for this.
Definitely, definitely. So guys, not gonna hold you on this segment too long. Just you guys have any last thoughts on the matchup? We'll go ahead and stick with you, sports guys, since you're helping out with Cleveland this week. Any last thoughts on the matchup?
This can possibly be a trap game for the Cleveland Browns. Like statistically, like they're still in the playoff hunt. Like so they got to go in there like thinking like, yeah, this is the Houston Texans. This is a sweet, easy dub. Nah, they got to beat this team because the Texans, they is a physical team that's going to play until the whistle is blown, though. So as long as they get that quarterback situation like situated, I think they should just feed like stop saying that Damian Pierce the ball. He should get like the ball like 30 times. Like they should like game plan around this guy and make sure they feed him the rock.
That definitely makes sense. Coach Dante, any last thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, our quarterback situation is not good. So we if the season ends today, we do have the number one overall pick. So we'll see what it goes with that. So Other than that, we do got to get the running game going. Like I said, we're weak against the running game of ourselves on our defense. Derek Stingley will be out with a hamstring injury, and he played the most snaps out of any rookie and haven't allowed a touchdown, 300 snaps, and haven't given up a touchdown yet. So that's been a plus. Petrie has been good at safety. Our best players been our three rookies. It been our basically our four rookies that we got out there. So this rookie class that we drafted, I think Nick Casario and Lovie Smith did a good job. I know we're 1-9-1, but every game we have been in. We have been in the Broncos game. We lost that by a possession. We should have
Mm-hmm.
beat the Indianapolis Colts. We tied with them. We played the Philadelphia Eagles hard, who come in that game red hot. Played them hard. That game didn't get out of hand to the third quarter to Davis Mills through the interception. We played a lot of teams hard, man. We played the Chargers hard. We only lost to them by 10. So we beat the Jaguars. That's our only victory of the season. So we can keep this game close. We can keep this game close, but we cannot score anything. We got offense got to get together. They got to come up. They got to score some points. And that starts by getting that running game going and Kyle Allen not making too many mistakes and just managing the game. So if we can do that, I feel good about winning this game and keeping this game slow pace. And like I said, if we can't score on the offensive side of the ball, it's going to be a long day for us. So, that's the last thought that I have.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I appreciate you guys hopping on, and good luck to both of your teams. Make sure you guys hop in the chat on YouTube. Let everybody know where to find you. We look forward to seeing y'all next week at Sports Guy. Since you ain't been here in a few weeks, we got your little double duty, so be ready.
Yeah.
The Bengals coming up in a few picks. All right, guys, let's get on to the next match here. All right.
This game of the week.
So yeah, now we got a pretty good game coming up here. See if we got our guys here for that. So we do have one of the gentlemen here, so we're gonna have to roll with that. We are going to roll with that.
Sounds good. This should be a good one.
It definitely should be. All right, let's see here. There we go. A little tricky tonight, y'all, but we got it handled because that's what we do. All right. Just 1 second, guys.
Yeah, man.
Right, here we go. Mike Patton. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. It's the AJ Brown Bowl this weekend.
It is, man. It is. So, Mike, as we see, you are the only guy that's here. So what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna let you roll with it tonight, man. You talk to us about. I'm not getting myself involved in this one. Talk to us
I'll help you out.
what,
I'll help you out a
talk
little
to-
bit.
I appreciate that. Talk to us about what the Titans need to do to win this game, and talk to us about what the best team, 10-1 in the NFL, needs to do to win this game.
I knew you were gonna throw something in, but as far as the Titans didn't run the football well. They got out physicaled last game by the Cincinnati Bengals, and also the Cincinnati Bengals stacked the line of scrimmage. So this game they're going to have to run the football better, and also going to have to make more big plays. Prime example of that was the long pass to Traylon Burks during the game. So they're going to have to be able to make more explosive plays, use the passing game a little bit more to go along with the passing game, kind of loosen things up. And defensively, going to have to stuff the running game, which ironically they are the #1 team against the run. So that'll be interesting to see how that matchup goes. As far as the Eagles to win this game, they're going to have to hit the Titans up in the passing game because their secondary is bad. Let's just call it what it is. The secondary, well, not all of it is bad, but
He was talking too good about the Eagles. It was like, nah, you can't do that, bro. This should be a good one, though, man. I need King Henry to go off.
So,
He might.
So, Mike, what do you think is going to be a pivotal matchup in this game?
Oh, it's definitely going to be the Titans front four versus the Eagles offensive line. That's definitely going to be the biggest part of the matchup for sure.
Fair enough. Now,
And
like I said,
big thing is Danico Autry might not be playing in this game also because he suffered a knee injury a couple games back, so he might not be playing in this game, which is huge because he's Jeffrey Simmons' tag team partner inside, especially rushing the passer.
well, I'll just talk about quick injury updates. So, we definitely won't have the Eagles won't have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for this game, as he has a kidney laceration and he's going to be out for multiple weeks. So we'll be going with Reed Blankenship, who played well last week, as his replacement. Also, Jordan Davis, not 100% yet, but he is eligible to come off of the injured reserve this week. So we may get our big run stuffer back this week for the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, I couldn't think of a better week to get the guy back that's our run stopper with everything that's happening with some of the other places on defense. And then we also may be able to get a couple of players back next week. We're not going to go into next week. We'll stay in this week. But I think this is going to be a good game. I think both teams are a little banged up, but you expect that once you get to a certain point in the season. You just have to figure out how to overcome, whatever injuries you do have, and that's why you got to live with that next man up mentality.
Yep.
Right. It'll be interesting just to see if the Titans come out with an extra emphasis on being physical this game, because Keith Byard said, good gracious, Kevin Byard said it after the game that they were more physical, that the Bengals were more physical than the Titans. So I can expect, or you should expect, for the Titans to come out and be nasty and physical, play to the echo to the whistle, and basically be the same thing Mike Vrabel was his entire career on Sunday.
Fair enough. So, Mike, definitely appreciate you hopping on, man.
Hey, hold on one second. Before we go.
What else you got to say? I know you got something else to say.
The guy before me was talking about the Houston Texans were in all the games. I mean, did he not see that Miami game where they were down 30-0 at halftime?
Well, you had that one, but you got to admit, for the most part, they have been in.
They have been in most of the games.
Miami.
I'll give them that.
Yeah, Miami. They're a different animal. This season.
I know. I had to give them a little something with that. I couldn't.
I feel you. You had to treat like it was JJ for a minute, right?
Didn't y'all tie with them?
You know it. What's that?
Didn't y'all tie with them?
No, that was the Colts that tied with the Texans.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah, that was not the Dolphins. Yeah,
Not
two
the
of the Dolphins, man. That's a dangerous group.
He would be in the MVP running if it wasn't for him being missing games. He would be up there in the MVP running right now.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
You don't think he's still in it though, even with the games missed?
Not quite.
How many games has he lost that he started?
He lost a couple games. No, he's only lost like one game he started.
And that was the game he got hurt.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, did he lost that game?
Yep, that was it. And he's got 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He had 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, I think, going into last week's game. If he played all the games, he would have near the same numbers, if not better, than Patrick Mahomes in the interception part of it.
Dang.
Yeah.
Freaking Tua. Alabama, man.
Alabama quarterbacks.
All that speed, man. Track speed out there, man. Look, Tyreek, Waddle, Mostert, them three running 100 meters. I mean, that could probably be an Olympic team right there. 4x1, 3 legs of a 4x1.
So, Mike, you are leading into the next matchup for us, man. You are giving us a preview.
Well, let me get out of that one. They got it.
Absolutely, man. Well, yeah, man. Good luck. I don't really mean that, but good luck to you.
Better take it back now. You done said it.
But I have said since the offseason, the Titans are my second favorite team for the next 3 years. This is year one of those 3 years, so they are my second favorite team. As without them, we would not have swole Batman. So you have to appreciate when people look out for you, right? And that's what
Man,
I feel
tell him
like
put
he's
some
doing.
ice on that eye, man. Tell him put some ice on that eye.
Well, you
Jeez.
know, my man lost 7 pounds from being sick all week and still went out there
Oh,
and
I
caught a
know.
touchdown. So
Oh, I heard my boy OJ actually covers them. So
yeah,
I trust me. I keep up with the Eagles with my boy.
everybody should be keeping up with the Eagles, but that's not the point. You know what I'm
They're
saying?
trying to keep up with y'all,
Here he goes.
It's not
Here
what's
he
not happening.
goes.
huh?
But yeah, man, Mike. So appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Begrudgingly good luck, and hope to see you back next week.
Yes,
Don't forget to
sir.
hop in the chat. Let everybody know where to find you.
Oh, I've definitely been in there. They should know me by now.
Oh, they should. Hey, just in case, man. Just in case. There might be some newbies. You never know.
All right.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. So we're gonna hop on over to the next matchup. Like one of our gentlemen is ready. One should
Hey,
be with us in a minute or two. But we have the San Francisco 49ers are
speaking
going to be
of,
challenged by the Miami Dolphins.
whew, this is a hot game right here.
This is a very, very, very interesting game, I would say. What's going on today, Steven? I think you're on mute, sir. You're still on mute, sir. We can't hear you. There we go.
Yeah.
Now we still can't hear you. You got your mic plugged in? Well, while Steven's getting things together, Jeff, what's going on, man?
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up?
I didn't realize I was next. I was lagging a little bit behind, but I'm glad to have somebody else in the studio today. That's awesome.
Steven, you got your mic working? Still can't hear you.
He's
Well, we'll-
speechless at the prospect of the new and improved Miami Dolphins.
So while he's getting it together, Jeff, talk to us about what things the Dolphins do well, and what do you think they're going to be able to do to try to secure a victory against this supposedly red hot San Francisco 49ers team.
Yeah, both these teams are they're kind of like trending in the right direction at the right time. Ironically, with the same, I'm a huge fan of the San Francisco 49ers and how they play football the last, I guess we're at 6 or 7, 8 years now. And, I was so happy when Miami decided to kind of mimic that, when they got McDaniel. And, it's going to be a tough one. What I can see that the Dolphins can do is they obviously have the big playability. And, they I don't know if I don't think they're going to just be able to line it up and run it against San Francisco. That'd be crazy to think that. They're going to have to be patient. Obviously, a huge advantage. I won't say advantage, but a huge plus is like having a coach that was on the coaching staff, because this is a pretty intricate San Francisco 49ers offense, and to get, any know-how, any tells, any reads, any tips, anything is a huge advantage. You guys know how it is in the NFL. Every little thing helps. So, having such a close relationship between the two teams, it's an advantage for both coaches, but I think Miami more so only because they're the ones trying to, get a piece of the pie, as to where San Francisco's been here, done that. They know what they're doing. Miami is trying to get to that level.
Yeah, I think this
Fair
is a
enough,
good
fair
tester
enough.
game for Miami, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about the Dolphins. Like, this is a huge test on the road. They've put themselves. They're in probably. I think they're a game ahead of where I thought they would be this year, and Buffalo is probably a game back, which has really benefited them. I mean, Miami is technically leading the division, which is amazing right now. This division turned out to be way better than anybody thought. Nobody thought New England and the Jets would be as good as they are, especially if this white thing turns out for the Jets. Then all of a sudden they're
they're right up there with anybody. I mean, Mike White looked, as good last week as any quarterback in that division last week, let alone. So it's awesome. So I don't want to sit here and say, and Miami's got a pretty tough schedule coming up. They're not gimme games. They don't have any throwaways. In the NFL, you don't have any, but they especially don't. So this is one of those seasons, and I've seen it a lot of times with Miami over the years. Like, I can't tell you guys how many times in the Brady era that Miami was within, like, they needed to get, like, say, one win out of the next 3 games to make the playoffs and just couldn't get it done. And it, like, when you look at their record now, you're like, oh, they're in great shape, but they could easily lose, 3 out of 4 or something like that, and then they're fighting for a playoff spot. Sort of like what we're seeing from the Ravens. Like, the Ravens should be running away with that division. They're not even leading the division. It's just kind of the same situation that could happen to Miami real quick. But what they can't do is go to San Francisco, shoot their shot, and then get beat down, and then come away from that game feeling like, okay, we just played a real team. We just played a real physical team. We know what we have to do, and now it's knocked us back a notch. Now it's knocked our confidence down, because San Francisco can do that to you. If you go and play around and think, and you're not ready for 60 minutes of thinking, mental toughness football, you get beat. And that's what this team has to be ready for. I would rather see them go there and lose by 3 than to go there and go all out, air raid, first quarter, and then get demoralized. Tua's getting thrown around the field. You can't run the ball. Then all of a sudden you start second guessing where you're at, and then you have that gauntlet coming up. That's that way you see the NFL. It's I'm a college football guy. It's complete opposite of, what you would want to see in college football. But Miami has to play it smart, play it safe, take 3 or 4 shots when they think they have them. If they get careless with the ball, it's going to go the other way. If they try to run side to side too much, it's not going to work. I mean, the San Francisco defense right now is absolutely on fire, and it's really going to come down to Miami's defense. Like, you can't give up big plays if you're Miami's defense. Like, you got to stick to your game plan. You got to make them earn it, because San Francisco is happy to earn a touchdown. They're happy to take an 8-minute drive and score a touchdown, because that's what they do. Then they're awesome at it. Miami can't let those turn into 2-minute drives, and then next thing you know, Fred Warner's running into the end zone. The game's over. They have to play this game smart and prove to themselves they can compete with a great team, even if they take a loss. And I hate to say that, but this is a mental game for Miami.
Fair enough.
Can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. So I mean, man, when I look at this game, I think, Jeff made a lot of really good points there. And I do agree that the key for the Dolphins is you can't just go out there and try to turn this into a track meet game, because if you go out there and you start making mistakes, this is a very fast, very disciplined defense. And if you go out there and you're trying to play too fast and you start making mistakes, this is a team that is going to light you up. The other thing is you have to run the ball, which is easier said than done. This is the number 1 rush defense in the league without Armstead and without Kinlaw. The other thing, if I'm the Dolphins, that concerns me is your offense is predicated on speed. And that speed is all about getting down the field. It's about the deep game. And we saw against Kansas City, this defense is susceptible to that. So it seems like it'd be a good matchup. But the Dolphins are going to, correct me if I'm wrong here, Jeff, but you're going to potentially beat out both of your starting tackles in this game.
Yeah, it's not a great matchup in the trenches for this game.
Yeah, so you've got Nick Bosa over there going against not just a younger guy, but from my understanding, the worst ranked offensive lineman in the entire league.
Yeah, that's definitely the matchup that's really not even a matchup. Like let's face it, like they're gonna have to leave a guy back there to either Chip Bosa or whatever, however they want to go about it. I mean, if they want to change their personnel, add a tight end or whatever, but then that's also taken away from Miami's strengths as far as getting the speed out on the field. But that's it. You're kind of playing into what I'm talking about. So Miami has to play the smartest. I'll just go ahead and say it, the most conservative game they've played all year. And then if you keep those games close, maybe all of a sudden Holland's going the other way with the touchdown, and that's the difference in the game. But I totally agree with you, man. If Miami comes out and it's like, and I don't think they do. You know more about our head coach than I do. Let's be honest. Like, do you really think that if we can see it, do you think he's silly enough to try it?
I mean, the thing is, I do think that he knows these teams really well, right? And the thing is, where people might look and say, okay, we see a weakness, we see where we might be able to take advantage of this. He not only can look at the film, but he actually knows those guys, right? He knows their tendencies. He knows what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. So I don't necessarily feel like he's going to try to attack something that everybody else would think is where he should attack. He's going to use the knowledge that he has of the team to try to attack them in other areas.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think too. I think this game is all about like again, it's just really about game plan and about smartness. And I just, as to where like the 49ers are ready, like the 49ers can play any team any week. They know who they are. They know what they want to do. They can attack. They can beat you up. All these things, like they already know what they want to do in this game, even the players, as to where Miami has to figure that out. And that's what I don't want to see them do, is go out there and like make all these mistakes and get embarrassed by a physical team. And then all of a sudden the Bills win on they've already got to win on Thursday night. And then now you're not leading a division. Let's say New England wins. All of a sudden, everything starts spiraling out of control. I'd rather see Miami really go into it and focus on like, let's try to keep, and this NFL teams do this. Like, we're crazy if we act like NFL teams don't try to keep it close and hope that something breaks their way late. But I think that would be better for Miami if they go out there and try to, try to open it up early, and Tua gets, Nick Bosa can. I mean, honestly, let's be honest. Like, Bosa could end Tua's season. Like, we've already seen this happen this year. We can't do this again. And I mean, totally legit. Totally in in the field of play. Like, they got to be smart about this game and realize that they've got. Well, I'll just honestly, less physical opponents, easier opponents coming up, and focus on those games. And I'm not saying throw a game or anything like that, but I'm saying like play it close to the vest. Hope your defense comes up with a big play, and then take a shot. You know what I mean? If somehow you get a fumble, then take a shot. But it's going to be tough. And I hate this because I love both these teams. I hope this is a Super Bowl matchup. I think is my favorite player in the NFL, honestly. This is a game that I can watch and enjoy. Dolphins lose, I'll be like, that sucks. If they win, I'll be like, that's awesome. But it doesn't eliminate either team. I'm really looking forward. I really, really want both these teams to make the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I look at this game, I think the main thing you pointed out there is they have to protect Tua, right? I mean, 5 sacks last week after your left tackle went out of the game.
Yeah.
So, that's obviously a concern.
Against Houston.
Yeah, against Houston. Right?
Against Houston. No shade, but I mean, they aren't the 49ers.
But here's where this is, for me as a 49ers fan, what I'm looking forward to about this game and what I want to see is my defense has been absolutely phenomenal the last few weeks.
Yeah.
But look at the teams we've been phenomenal against. Right? So I don't doubt that my defense is this good. But I do feel like the numbers are a little bit exaggerated because we've been playing bad teams, right? So this, to me, is our first real test. Even with your offensive line banged up, you still got guys that, if Tua gets the ball out of his hands quick, and Tua is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league, right? So he's going to get the ball. 2 guys, and ball placement is going to be where it needs to be, run after the catch, opportunities for those guys. They've got the speed that if you miss a tackle, they can take it to the house. So this is going to really be the first test for my defense since the Kansas City game. So we're going to get to find out. You had guys coming off injuries in that game. There's a lot of reasons why that game may have went the way it went. To me, this game is the opportunity for my defense to show that Kansas City game was kind of a fluke and that this is who they really are. Because if they go out there and they allow Miami to put up a bunch of points and get a bunch of yards, then we have to question, are they just a really good defense on beating up on bad teams? Or can they actually stop the top offenses in the league?
Yeah,
and then on the other side of the equation, obviously everybody wants to focus on the fact my offense only put up 13 points last week, as if winning by 13 points in the NFL is a bad thing. But you have one of the worst defenses in the league. So our offense has an opportunity to go out and feast this week. And I just think, kind of like what you said, that we need to be smart about it too. Don't get scared of the power of your offense and try to turn this into a shootout.
Yeah. I got a real quick question, and this is an awesome game to talk about this. Between these two coaching staffs, and I honestly don't know the answer here. Is there any what's the relationship? Is it a good one, a bad one, animosity, and anything to prove? What's the feeling from your side on between the two coaching staffs?
I mean, between the coaching staffs, it's all love, right? I
Oh,
mean,
that's good.
Yeah, there's no animosity whatsoever. Mike McDaniel was like Kyle Shanahan's right-hand man for 4 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, definitely really good coach. I mean, he was actually responsible for all the run game stuff in San Francisco. So, very, very smart head coach, and I'm not surprised by his success this year. I'm sure you did see the comments from Mostert earlier in the week.
Yeah.
And he's since... I won't say he backtracked because he's claiming he was misquoted, that the reporter took some stuff out of context, especially in regards to making any comments about Jimmy. He's like, me and Jimmy are friends, our families are friends, and all this other stuff. So I don't know if he actually really said it the way it was printed, and now he's just backtracking because he's thinking about like, damn, them guys like to hit kind of hard. I might back this up.
That's a wrong
or maybe he really was misquoted. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, I just want.
I don't think you're going to see a lot of chippiness like you would in rivalry football games like we saw last Saturday in college, right?
Yeah, and I just want to be clear, like it's crazy. I'm old enough that I remember when these two played in the Super Bowl. Like that's how old I am. Like that was one of the first games that I can remember. I was so upset that night when Joe Montana, ended the Miami season and all that. So like that's how far back I go. I can remember when I believe Jerry Rice, he broke it was a huge receiving record against Miami, probably right around 1990, one of his records that he broke, like all these things. So like I love this rivalry, like I love this matchup, not a rivalry. Love this matchup.
Well, guys,
and, it kind of takes me back.
I know you
Sorry,
guys
man. Sorry, man.
You guys have a lot of love here. Jeff, if you're not busy on Friday, you can hop on the Play College and you guys can reminisce about the Dolphins and the 49ers some more.
Okay, bro.
But hey man, me and Jeff aren't used to having anybody to talk to, man.
No, I know. We got a little carried
away.
Got to move on to the next matchup, guys. So appreciate you guys for hopping on. Good luck to you both, and we'll see you next week. And Jeff, I'll be in contact with you, man. We'll get you set up on Friday. That way you guys can have a little bit more Dolphins Niners love fest.
Yeah, we do that, man. Thanks, bro.
No problem. You guys don't forget to hop in the chat, guys. Let everybody know where to find you. All right, so guys, we're gonna go ahead and hop over to the next matchup here. We're gonna have a repeat guy for the night. I slid him in earlier to get him a little extra run since he hadn't had him around too much, so I wanted to get him a little FaceTime here. So we'll go ahead and hop over and get him back in here. Sports guy, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Just ready for football this Sunday.
So this time we're gonna let you go ahead and talk about your Bengals and your matchup this week. So talk to us about what they can do to win, and what do you think is going to be the pivotal matchup in the game?
Man, so we beat the Chiefs 2 times in one season last year, which is never probably ever happened like in a long time since Patrick Mahomes been the quarterback, and that's just something amazing, something that we can carry along with to this upcoming matchup. I think when you look at the Chiefs, though, you playing against the best of the best, so you gotta come ready and be able to be ready to shoot out with them, because it's gonna be a shootout when you play with Patrick Mahomes, right? But I think our personal keys to the game is running the football more, and getting Jamar Chase back into the lineup, because when he's back with us, like, he makes us a high power offense. So getting him back is gonna be pretty exciting though. So I think for our Bengals though, We just have to like run the football. Joe Burrow stay cool. Defense go play lights out though, because they bring it. They like Trey Henderson, go from Trey Henderson to Sam Hubbard to Von Bell, Jesse Bates. Like them guys gonna be very important. So I think if we just stop Patrick Mahomes, like being Patrick Mahomes, we gonna win this game.
Okay. And what do you think is the pivotal matchup of the game?
Now I think the pivotal matchup is Travis Kelce versus our linebackers. Now you know the Chiefs. They don't got big name receivers out there like Juju. Okay though, but he's not one of those guys though. But I think our linebackers against Travis Kelce will be very important though, because Travis Kelce is one of the best tight ends in the league, and he's going to get a lot of targets thrown to him because he's more reliable than anybody on that Chiefs team. So I think if we can limit Travis Kelce and make him get the other receivers involved, I think it would be more easier though. But we know Patrick Mahomes, he know how to like to get everybody involved though. But taking away his best weapon will be the best thing in this game. I think if our linebackers can play up to that potential to stop Travis Kelce, I think this is gonna be a good football game, y'all. Like
fair enough. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good matchup too, definitely.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is 1-2 against the Chiefs. Against the Bengals, you know, totaling up like 7 total touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards passing. And you know Joe Burrow is 2-0 against the Chiefs. So this is gonna be an intriguing matchup. They ain't put it on national television for nothing. I know, salute to your Eagles, man. Y'all are one of the best and stuff, man. But keep it up. But this game right here on Sunday, like you already seen the AFC playoff picture. It's pretty wild. Somebody lose a game, somebody's coming up. Somebody win a game, they stay, or they might move up. So this is a pretty big game for the Cincinnati Bengals. Right. Oh man, I wish I was down here in Cincinnati, man. No tailgating, woo, man. So we introduced a coney to a Chiefs fan. They never had conies. Like coney, y'all ever had like a chili dog?
I haven't, sir.
I had a chili dog, not a coney though.
I don't do like hot dogs or any of those things, bro.
A hot dog with chili on there with cheese and stuff. They're like, man, I never had this till they first time tasted. Now they want a Cincinnati package, but this is gonna be an intriguing matchup, man. I'm gonna be by the stadium at a bar watching this game because this game is gonna be very intriguing. Like because we got Patrick Mahomes. Like the tickets is almost $8,000. Like $8,000 just for this Chiefs and Bengals game. Like so the Bengals they can't get their foot off the gas for no apparent reason. They can't even start slow. Like this matchup right here is just gonna really decide who really make an impact in the playoffs.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I guess I don't need to ask if you have any last thoughts because I think you've been confident on giving us those.
Yeah, I think my last thought is, you know, when you look at the two quarterbacks, like these were the only quarterbacks that thrown a touchdown in every game this season. Well, I think Mahomes didn't throw a touchdown against the Rams, but Burrow threw a touchdown in every game of the season. This is one of the two best quarterbacks in the league, though. One of the, you know, like this matchup right here, it's gonna be a shootout. We might see 1,000 yards total. We might see a low scoring game because both of these teams want it bad, but they can't get it. So they gotta always settle for 3 or take your punt. So this matchup is gonna be very intrigued though, especially for the Cincinnati Bengals. You at home, you're in the 6th spot. You're in the 6th seed spot in the playoff. So if you lose, somebody is moving up and you're going down. So if we keep this energy up going up, I think the Cincinnati Bengals is gonna be one of the most fierce team in the AFC. People ain't gonna explain it because I'm not gonna say it because it's the Bengals. So it's possible you might see the Eagles and the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Cool.
Hey man, I just want one half of that. Whoever's on the other side is whoever.
Who, the Bengals?
I do like
the Bengals there.
I do like the fact that we're being included by a lot of teams when they're talking about them getting to the big game.
Yeah. They had 100 yards in the first quarter. Like that was ridiculous. Like so y'all really a tough team to run the football, pass. Passing is very underrated, and defense is good. And Gardner Johnson, losing him is a big loss, but he's having a hell of a career. career here.
Yeah, things happen, man. It's one of those things we say about football. Things seem to happen. But yeah, man,
Yep.
definitely good luck to you. Hey, that we weren't able to get a Chiefs guy on with you this week, but hey, things happen. But I appreciate you for coming on. Appreciate you being a good sport with the
I,
Browns as well. And make sure you hop in the chat, man.
I
Don't forget. Hop in there and let everybody
yeah,
know where to find you.
I'm gonna definitely hop in the chat right here. It's about this chat right here, right?
Now the chat on YouTube.
Okay, okay. I'm about to hop on there right now.
But
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well,
Thank you,
we're gonna
fellas,
go.
man. Cleveland, we need to beat them.
But
All right, fellas.
we were gonna diverge a little bit here, but it looks like our next rep had to step away for a few minutes, so we're gonna keep things moving here. We've got our guy Jake Silver, our Chargers guy in the back. Haven't seen Jake for a while. Good to have him back.
man,
Jake, what's going on, man?
What's going on, you guys, man?
Nothing much, man. Just
Hey.
good to have you back. Good to have you back.
Oh,
No hate from my side, man. No hate from my side.
no, not at all, man. I hope you guys both had a great Thanksgiving, man. I know I did with me and the fam. Just a little camp out up into Tehachapi, Cali. There's beautiful sights, man. Like it's literally like ranch town, small town area. I love that kind of stuff, getting a little off the grid every now and then, but just glad to be back up and fully refreshed. And like I said, this upcoming weekend, me and the wife here are going to Disneyland, so I'm like,
hey.
get the vacations out now by the time next year comes around. So
Yep. All right, talk
Nice.
to us about this matchup against the Raiders, man. What we got going on here?
well, kind of sucks that I'll be out of town by the time that the boys are already here,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, this is going to be a tough matchup because ultimately everybody's been kind of questionable about the Raiders system since the year started.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really have found their groove. I mean, the running game has been really elite. um, I think it's honestly time that the Raiders really do consider re-signing Josh Jacobs. I mean, he's more than deserving of that contract extension. Um, I don't think, honestly, like I've told a lot of people, I don't think it was regretful re-signing Darren Waller because outside of Travis Kelce, he's probably the second best AFC tight end in that division. So to me, I don't think that was a bad move in the offseason, but it does show how bad Josh Jacobs really took his fifth year declining option and where he wants that reasonable extension. And I think it should be deserving, in my opinion, because between him and potentially Zamir White, who's going to get, a couple more touches as well, you're going to have a really good running back by committee. But I know the Chargers have a handful because of the fact of they're coming off of a pretty emotional win against the Cardinals, which honestly, it should have never ended that close. It should have never even gotten into that point. I think part of that is that, like I said, parts of the offense, there is still strings pulled between Brandon Staley and Joe Lombardi on this offense. And the fact that Justin Herbert literally had to make, oh, by the way, a quote unquote social media quarterback throw that everybody seems to be on the trending block on, he managed to make yet another clutch throw that got the Chargers back in it. Um, but I do think the Chargers really do need to step themselves up this week. Knowing it's a division rival against the Raiders, it's unfortunate that they double dipped against Kansas City, and they've also got Denver by the end of the year. So to me, this is a must important win because the Raiders are going to want to try to play spoiler and try to sneak their way into the playoffs somehow, some way. But that's one thing that the Chargers need to prevent from happening because a lot is on the line for like everybody in that organization. Brandon Staley and Joe Lombardi's jobs right now are on the line. The playoff hunt right now is on the line. The fact that you've got Cleveland having Deshaun Watson back. You got the Jets right now, who they look much better with Mike White than Zach Wilson. And then you still can't count out Bill Belichick and the Patriots. So that's why all of the pressure is on their shoulders. So they can't afford to underachieve yet again, because if that be the case, like I talked about, Staley and Lombardi will be gone, and in comes Sean Payton, guaranteed.
Fair enough.
Because this can't happen with a talented quarterback like this.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, Jake, I
Mhm.
don't really have a lot of other questions because you've already answered them, but I do have one question for you. Is
Yeah.
Mike Williams going to play? Fantasy owners like myself need to know: is Mike Williams going to play this week?
Well, I know it's been kind of hard because of the fact of he re-aggravated that high ankle sprain. So I know it's kind of taken him a little bit of time off. But my only hope is that by close to game time is where I think we'll find out about that decision if he does play this week or not. Um,
I think we
and
need 2 cortisone shots and some icy hot inside of his wrap. I think he's good to go.
how
And
about
he
we?
last
How
him
about
5 minutes
hey,
into the game.
Hey, how about we do this old school? How about we take a lower tab and drink some beer right there? He'd definitely heal up.
He'd make it through the game. I don't know about afterwards, but he'd make it through the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I do
But
like Carter. I do like Carter and Palmer. I like Palmer a lot, though, to be honest.
yeah, I mean, DeAndre Carter's been really, really good. And to be honest, too, I mean, this has been nobody's been talking about this, but this has been quite a year for Gerald Everett in the tight end position.
Oh yeah,
It
he's
has.
been killing it too.
I mean, he came into a year where Jared Cook honestly just failed in his position to where he was supposed to be a red zone threat, but he's obviously getting old. And then the second that Gerald Everett came in, he's been great in the red zone. He's been somebody that's been reliable where we needed a midfield target, and he has been that. So to me, hopefully we'll know by maybe game time decision, but as the weeks go on, because of the fact we have practice, we have OTAs, hopefully we'll start to get some positive news about Mike Williams, but don't count out Keenan Allen in some positions. So you may see a little of DeAndre Carter, you'll see parts of Josh Palmer, but at the very least, they have Keenan Allen back.
Oh yeah, that does work for me too. I have him in the leagues. I don't have Mike Williams, so that's been a little bit helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jake, we appreciate you, man. Good to have you on this week. Good luck. Hopefully we'll have you back on next week. And make sure you stop by on YouTube and let everybody know where to find you.
Absolutely, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you again, man.
Take care, you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, now we're on to Mr. Big Time himself.
You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. They saved probably the best for last, but here I am. May not be too many people on, but anywhere it goes, whether it's first or last, the crowd goes wild whenever I show up, representing, of course, the star. Here we go. One more week. Let's go.
Let's go. So, Mr. Big Time, big matchup. I guess pretty much every matchup's big against the Colts this week. For the Colts, what's their best chance to beat you guys, or what do you guys need to do to secure a win?
I start with your first statement. It's a big matchup because we are forced to win every game because we do not need to fall any further behind to the Philadelphia Eagles. There is still somewhat of a chance to in this division.
Agreed.
And, of course, home field advantage perhaps. So we're at the point now where our playoffs actually have already started, the truth be told. That's the way I'm looking at it now. If you listen to the Cowboys talk, they'll, this one game at a time and all,
Right.
We can't afford to go down 2 games or 3 games to the Eagles. The division to be over with. That's the first thing. What the Colts need to do is really simple. They need to give Jonathan Taylor the football. It's nothing. Well, put it this way: you want to give it to Jonathan Taylor and take the ball out of the hands of Matt Ryan. It's really that simple. They got a great offensive line still, in my opinion. Jonathan Taylor is a world-class running back. And most of all, running the ball is the Achilles heel of the Dallas Cowboy defense. While we major incredibly in knocking the quarterback head off in sacks and pressures, we lead the league in that. What we don't lead the league in is run defense. And because our offense is scoring so much and we're winning right now, it camouflages the problem of the Dallas Cowboys, and that is stopping the run. Well, in these next few weeks, and it's already started, we're going against world-class running backs, world-class running games. Started with Dalvin Cook. The scoreboard took Dalvin Cook out the game of the Vikings, but he still had 11 carries for 72 yards. They tell me we ain't stopped nobody. Saquon last week played with guys that came from Kroger's, and pick, pack, and Jiffy Lube as offensive linemen. They were on their third and fourth stringers. And so, of course, when you have that, you're not expecting your running back to go off. So I think that was kind of camouflaged. I think Saquon only had about 30 yards, but he didn't have his line. But we're getting ready to see now Jonathan Taylor. We're getting ready to see Derrick Henry. We're getting ready to see the Philadelphia Eagles run game. We're getting ready to see the Washington Commanders run game. So our run defense, is about to get tested out for real. And we're about to find out how really good this defense really is. And it starts again to go with Jonathan Taylor. So we have to, the Colts are going to win. Jonathan Taylor probably need to get the ball, or whoever else's backup is. They need to run the ball at least 35 times. And they're quite capable of doing that. As far as the Cowboys, it's the exact opposite. We need to stop the run. If we stop the run and put the ball back into Matt Ryan's hands, we already know what's getting ready to happen. He's going to get sacked a lot. He's going to get hit a lot. He ain't hard to find. He's not mobile. He's going to be in the pocket, and that's the kind of quarterback that the Cowboys feast on. And so it's really simple. Stop the run, find a way to stop it, and we should do fine.
Definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense, man. Now, do you have any other thoughts on your matchup you'd like to share with us?
Michael Pittman Jr.
Okay.
If there was a problem in the passing game, he can cause some damage. But it all depends on how the Cowboys playing. I don't think that it is worthy of making Trayvon Diggs follow him the whole game. I just don't think that's the case. And if that's not the case, then now you open it back up for Anthony Brown, who I'm not just 100% confident in. And we play a lot of man defense. Because we're trying to rush the quarterback. Michael Pittman can destroy you. He's good enough to do that. And Anthony Brown is not, at least in Trayvon Diggs' level. Let me put it that way. So the question would be, will they make Diggs chase him the whole game, or are they just going to play, their style? That's really the only other question I have. Indianapolis plays hard since Jeff Saturday has gotten there. They're going to play hard. You could see it. But once they figure out that they need to stop, it's kind of like last night. If they would have ran Jonathan Taylor last night, they would have beat the Steelers. Every time he touched the ball, he was getting 6-7 yards just about every time he touched the ball. And they still were lining up in a shotgun and trying to be cute and all that kind of stuff. And you got a mistaken identity on offense. You get the ball to Jonathan Taylor, your first team All-Pro, your all-world running back, and let the chips fall where they may right after that. So I think they're going to do that this week because the reputation of the Cowboys is that they can't stop the run. So I'm expecting Jonathan Taylor to get a healthy load of carries. We got to stop him. It's just that simple.
Hey, you speak a lot of truth to me, man. Any other thoughts from Mr. Big Time Sid?
Man, I mean, you covered it pretty damn well. Man, it's gonna be an exciting game.
Yeah, we got to keep up, especially if I'm not mistaken, cool. Don't y'all play the Titans this week? Is that right?
That is correct, sir.
Yeah. Where
It's a good
y'all
chance for
playing
us
them
to.
at? Where y'all playing them at?
We are playing them. We're playing them in Philadelphia,
Okay.
so we got them at
Well,
home. But it's still that's a tough
that's gonna
game.
be a grind. That's gonna be a grinded out football game.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what it's gonna be. And
Hmm.
y'all not gonna run for 300 yards this week. So the question is, will y'all shut down the monster in Henry, and can they stop y'all running? I don't mean to get into y'all matchup, but I'm saying all
Yeah.
that to say, if some type of way y'all lose this game, boy, that Christmas Eve game in Dallas is gonna be special.
It's gonna
Oh
be
my
very
God.
important.
Oh
Agreed.
my God. But as long as y'all keep winning, keep that little small cushion there, we got to win, because right now, I really believe, man, look, I believe it's quite possible that the Cowboys could have the second best record in the entire conference, but they'll be at a fifth seed.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna mess everything, because the division winners, the West and the NFC South. I mean, Tampa, what is leading their division at 5-6, if I'm not
Something
mistaken.
like that. Yeah.
But they're
That's
gonna get a home playoff game, which means that's who whoever's the fourth seed, whatever record, that's who we're going to see. And the Cowboys could actually be sitting there at 11-5 or 12-4, maybe somewhere in that area there, and
Could be.
have to get on the road the first week. So if we want any chance, we got to stay pace with the Eagles. So every game to me is an important game, playoff game actually,
Yeah. And this is
because of what the Eagles are doing. We got to
yeah.
win.
And this is one of our tougher games. Records, I'm kidding about that. This is definitely a tough game, and anybody who's not concerned about playing this Titan team with the way they can run some weeks, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's why we got to win. It's because of y'all. We got to win. We got to
That,
win, and then we got
that has a
to handle business.
special place in my heart. I appreciate that big time.
Well, I really ain't giving y'all no compliment. I'm just calling it like it is. Y'all, what, 10-1? I mean,
that
good
makes
Lord.
it even better.
Yeah, okay. Boy, I can't wait to Christmas Eve.
Oh, neither can I, sir. Neither can I. But
All right.
definitely appreciate you hopping on. Um, good luck to you. We'll see you next week. And big matchup coming for you in a couple of weeks.
Looking forward to it in a couple weeks. Hopefully, both teams probably will not lose a game until that game,
That'll
and
be
that's
very
what's gonna
interesting.
make it real huge.
Oh yeah.
Even if we beat y'all, we still wouldn't be taking over. That's why I
Right.
need y'all to lose one game before y'all come see us. That's what I need. Bad. Let's go
I need the
Tennessee.
same.
Let's go Tennessee. Let's go.
I need the same. I need the same for y'all. Go Colts.
That's why I know. See what I'm saying? All right,
Yeah.
man.
All right, man. Good to see you.
Appreciate y'all.
No
Yes,
problem.
sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're nearing the end. We got a couple of games that we didn't have our people on for matchup purposes. So me and said, according to what we do here, we're just gonna give you some quick thoughts on those couple of games, and then guess what? We're gonna be at the end of another matchup madness. So the first one we'll give our quick thoughts on. Said, I'll let you start this one off. Will be the Jets versus the Vikings.
Oh man. I think this is gonna be a good game. This is two teams that were some thought to be at the top of AFC and the NFC a couple weeks ago, and a lot's changed between now and then. It seems like it's two teams that are now fighting for a spot. Just like he was just saying about the Cowboys. These two teams are in the same situation as well, where they could potentially win out the season and end up still as the fifth or the sixth seed in the playoffs. What I'm saying, playing on somebody else's turf, trying to win their way up. So right now, it's just, there's a couple teams that are like that, where every game turns into a playoffs, and that's the situation with the Jets and the Vikings. Like I think someone was saying earlier, White over at New York, he looks like he looks good, and we'll see what they can do. You know, they were looking good with Zach Wilson back there, so I imagine this is got to be, a next level up for them. Um, and Minnesota, I mean, Minnesota's just Minnesota. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins is the best average quarterback we've ever seen. Um, but somehow he manages to win games. He just never wins the games he needs to win, and this is a game that they need to win. So I'm anxious to see which Kirk Cousins we'll see this weekend, or which team we'll see come out from the Vikings. But either way it goes, these are two teams that I feel like a lot of people kind of didn't expect to be as in the position that they're in. Um, and it could go either way, man. I'm gonna say the Jets, though. I'm gonna say the Jets just because they just got a defense, man.
Yeah, I think Mike White, as you say, energizes them. The Vikings right now are the biggest threat to our number one seed because they're 9-2, so they're technically 2 games back because we beat them in the head to head. But they're the closest team to the Eagles at 9-2. They're pretty strong in the North, but then you still want to battle to try to get that number one seed if you can, because that's the only one that gets that bye now. So
Yeah.
being number one is very important. I think that the Jets, though, they're riding that Mike White wave. He's the guy that does. So you have certain systems and you have certain quarterbacks that fit the system. He does the things that works right for the system that they have. So if you're going to go back to Zach Wilson either later on this year or next season, you're going to need to adjust what you do to fit Zach Wilson. If you're not going to go back to Zach Wilson, you've got a guy, Mike White, who looks like he could be your quarterback. If not for injury, you may not have gotten Zach Wilson because you may have been confident in Mike White. But we'll see how that shakes out. But definitely, I think the Jets are going to win this game just off of the fact that everybody's playing harder for Mike White. It's the same effect that you had with Taylor Heineke in Washington. Sometimes you have the talent, but you have the right guy steering the ship. It looks better. So that's
Yeah.
what I think, we have there. And the next one we have will be the Seahawks and the Rams. I'm not going to spend much time on this. I'm simply going to say Seahawks are a much better team than the Rams. I don't foresee a situation where the Seahawks lose to the Rams. That would be my upset of the week if the Rams were to beat the Seahawks.
I mean, it could happen though.
I don't think it's much probability that it happens. They still don't have Cooper Kupp, so
That is
they don't
true.
have much on offense.
They
They
don't
may
have
be
an
playing,
offense.
yeah, they may be playing the third round, the third quarterback. They may be playing the second one. They may be playing the starter. I don't see much difference between the three of them the way they're playing this year. So
Yeah, I think Stafford might. Let's see.
and I'm stuck with him in fantasy. So
We just
very
gotta wait and see.
disappointed
They
with him.
said who? Matt
No, I'm
Stafford?
I'm just going with somebody else.
Yeah, I'm going over Trevor Lawrence this next week.
If I had him, I would play him over Stafford for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, same way, man. I think Seahawks are gonna pull this out, though. It'll be crazy for them to lose it with the lack of offense that the Rams have right now.
Yep. And the last one here that we're going to cover is that Monday night game between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ah, the Saints, man. I just don't know what's happening. I'm. It's not that I don't like the Saints, but we have their first round draft pick, so I'm enjoying the fact that uh, they just seem to not be in sync. We're not getting anything out of Alvin Kamara. Um, Olave has some good weeks, but they just don't have enough that they're able to put together to be a danger to anybody, I feel, at the moment. I don't feel that they can win games right now. If something changes, I don't know if, what it would be. There's not a lot that they can do at the quarterback position right now. They just don't have, Jameis is just not able to play with the situation with his back. And I just don't know what they're going to do. The defense is still good enough to keep them in a game against a guy like Tom Brady, who's not what he used to be. But the refs are always going to help Tom Brady. And I think he has more weapons in the running game and the passing game. So I just feel like, it's going to be very hard for the Saints to win this game. And I'm definitely going to go with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay, I feel, is kind of the same way too right now. They're not finding ways to win, and I mean, this division is just kind of down there right now. It's a coin toss away from a division winner. So, but somebody has to win it, and yeah, I see Tom Brady just happening to yell at his players enough to get them to score, I guess. But nah, I'm with you. I think Tampa Bay will find a way to pull this out. It'll be an ugly game, but they'll make it to 19.
Yeah, it's funny how the divisions work. The West leader is 7-4, the South leader is 5-6, the North leader is 9-2, and then the East leader is 10-1. And you look behind them, the Cowboys are still in a position to, if we can lose some games, they can still make a run. They're 8-3. But you look at the North, Detroit's 4-7, Green Bay's 4-8, Chicago's 3-9. They're getting one team in the playoffs just because you have to. Same thing with the South. So when I look at wild cards, even you think about, you got Seattle, and then you got the three teams from the East. Whoever doesn't win a division, that's pretty much your pool for who's going to be in the playoffs. And that's kind of crazy to look at when you think about just previous years and how things have changed. Love to see it though, just the changes in how everything's going right now. When you look at the playoff picture real quick, and I'll just go over this. We're hitting 11, so we're about to hop off here in a second. But when you just look at the playoff picture, we'll just go over the NFC and the AFC real quick. NFC, Eagles are the number 1, Vikings are the number 2 seed, 49ers are the 3rd seed, and then the Bucks are the 4th. So as Mr. Big Time himself was talking about, the Cowboys are 5th, Giants are 6th, and the Commanders are 7th right now. So right now you're looking at all the teams from the East getting into playoffs. Will that hold true for the rest of the season? We will see. But as of right now, the Beast, the NFC East has all the teams in there. You've got Seattle at 6-5, Atlanta at 5-7. I really don't think anybody that has 4 wins or less even really has an opportunity right now, just because of how bad the seasons have gone. But we never know if one of these teams at the top falter. You look over at the AFC real quick. Chiefs are 1st, Dolphins are 2nd, Titans are 3rd, Ravens are 4th, Bills are 5th, the Bengals are 6th, and then the Jets are 7th. So you got 3 teams from the AFC East right now in the playoffs, and then the second team, AFC North, is the Bengals. So definitely not getting what we expected out of that AFC.
Well, I mean, you got the Patriots right there, though. They're a win away from being above the Bengals.
Yeah, but we're only looking at one team from that vaunted AFC West. Right now. And then
we ain't gonna talk about the AFC West. Chargers.
Yeah, but you have the Chargers at 6-5 as well, so they have an opportunity. They can get some wins, like you were saying with the Patriots, to possibly slide in on somebody and make something happen.
There's 6 weeks left.
I don't think it's 6. We're in week 13. I think we got
week
about
13.
We got about
4 more weeks.
Yep.
I mean, a lot can change in 4 weeks, though. Still,
it can, especially at the bottom, and that's the thing about it. So you got, and then like I said, you get the Chargers 6-5. You got the Patriots at 6-5. Like I said, the Colts are 4-7-1. The only reason I would even bring them up is the tie counts as pretty much in these tie-breaking situations like a win. So they only have 7 losses because they have a tie. So it's pretty much like they're 5-7 for all intents and purposes. So they have an opportunity, but they would need some help, of course. But it's starting to shape out, guys. It's starting to shape out. We're looking at these bottom teams: Bears, Texans, Broncos, Rams, Steelers, Saints, Browns, Cardinals, Panthers, Raiders, Jags, Packers, Lions, even to an extent Colts. You're starting to see teams just kind of fall by the wayside, and you're starting to see teams like assert themselves as the teams that still have an opportunity. Obviously, no one is mathematically eliminated yet because you could win out and still climb, but we're starting to see that separation that we always see around week 11, 12, 13, as far as who really has a shot to make the playoffs and who's just kind of playing spoiler or fighting for the number 1 pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of teams that come and play playoff buster right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teams start to take their foot off the brake pedal. I think adding those extra teams kind of eliminated that taking your foot off the pedal, because you are seeing that, you're having a few more teams at the bottom with closer records, whereas they have to win out. You know what I'm saying? They have to go out there and their playoff starts essentially right now. So, but you do have a few teams that are looking to come in and play, a little bit of, playoff buster and change some of those matchups up, as far as with the division leaders. Although there are a couple divisions like, that kind of, like you said, the NFC North's kind of locked up. But I feel like we'll see a bit more movement. Usually we see a little bit of drama around this time of year, so it's going to be pretty exciting these next few games.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Appreciate everyone that watched with us. Everyone that sees the replay. If you have the opportunity, we love the interactive piece. Catch us live. If not, then appreciate you watching the replay as well. Everybody that was on the chat, everybody that was watching, still is watching, and we'll see the replay. But again, man, we're going to go ahead and pack it up for the evening. We're hitting right at about 2 hours and 1 minute. So we'll see you guys next week. Be ready. Another week of the NFL Matchup Madness in the books.
Yes,
and as
sir.
always, catch us next week.
Hey.